Hi guys, today we will talk about what Office 365 is. I know it has been there for a while and is known to most of the people in the IT industry, but there are still a few people who is not fully aware of the suite, and therefore this presentation is for you guys to help you understand what Office 365 is. Great. So my name is Dileepa and let's begin. So today's agenda is going to be we'll talk about what Office 365 is, benefits of Office 365 to organizations, Office 365 deployment types, Office 365 identity scenarios, and Office 365 migration options. So what is Office 365? Okay, Office 365 is a subscription based service that is offered by Microsoft. So on that you get online version of Microsoft Exchange, the online version of Microsoft SharePoint, the online version of Microsoft Skype for Business, the online version of OneDrive for Business, and Yammer, right? So all these are the services that you get when it comes to Office 365. Today we work in a very competitive environment. People have many devices they use, ranging from laptops to phones to tabs, etc. And as the IT department, how do you address this growing consumer device rush? You also need to continuously upgrade, monitor, expand your servers, operating systems, and data centers to accommodate this growth. How do you do it effectively? Okay, so I think that's where the Microsoft comes into play. They offer you services such as Office 365, which will enable your users to access services on any device at any time without affecting their productivity. They also host these services on enterprise grade cloud services and servers, so you are being assured that you always get the best service from Microsoft. So next we'll talk about benefits of Office 365. Okay, when it comes to Office and Office web apps, you have the flexibility of choosing what subscription you would like to go for you to get the services. It is always up to date, which means that if Microsoft releases a newer version of Office or a server product, you will get it free of charge with no additional charges apart from your subscription. It is optimized across devices, which means your user's interface will be optimized to suit the device that they use to access Office 365. Microsoft also gives you a reliable service with a 99.9% SLA, which means that if they cannot stick to that SLA they have provided there, they will refund the subscription fees back to you. You also have advanced IT controls to manage various services of your Office 365 environment by means of separate admin consoles built for each service. Like, let's say for an example, if you want to add a Exchange mailbox, you can go to the Exchange admin console to do it, right? Likewise, you have separate admin consoles for SharePoint, Skype for Business, and Yammer. Okay, Microsoft data centers are validated by trusted certifications such as HIPAA, FISMA, and PCI, etc. So you don't have to worry when it comes to compliance audits that you have to adhere to as an organization when you move on to Office 365, because Microsoft has got all their data centers covered with those industry trusted certifications. Okay, so next we'll talk about the Office 365 deployment types. You can deploy Office 365 in two ways. First, the fully hosted. This is recommended for organizations which has lesser than 100 users who are planning to go to cloud. The reason being, they have less data to migrate and it is very easy to set up. This is also recommended for less complex environments who are planning to go to Office 365. Next is the hybrid deployment. This is recommended for organizations who are already using Microsoft infrastructure products such as Microsoft Exchange, SharePoint, or Skype for Business, or Link, in other words, and looking to move their workloads to Office 365. This way they can run their current workloads on-prem and extend their new workloads to Office 365 to gain benefits in the long run and to have rich coexistence between their on-premises and Office 365 environment. For an example, let's say if they extend their Exchange to Office 365, users on both the environments can see the freebie information and a unified gal because of this hybrid integration. Now we'll talk about the migration options. Okay, so there are some of the migration options we can have with Office 365. You again have two types of migration scenarios here. One is the simple migration and the other is the hybrid migration. Okay, in simple migration you can use IMAP migration to migrate your mail contents apart from your calendar, contacts and tasks. This is because IMAP is limited to mail migration only and does not migrate anything else other than the email content. We also can use cutover migration to directly provision our users on Office 365. This means that overnight you can change the mail flow to Office 365 data centers and start using services on the Office 365 site once all the prerequisite setup steps such as validating domains and user creations are done on the Office 365 site. This is again ideal for scenarios which has less number of users as mentioned in my earlier slide. Next is the stage exchange migration, which is used when organizations wants to move their users batch by batch to cloud, and by doing so they will move all their users to cloud eventually in the long run. Okay, next we come to the hybrid scenario. Hybrid deployment manages users on-premise and online both. It enables cross-premises presence sharing and smooth migration using built-in exchange commands such as remote move. So these are some of the migration options that we can have when it comes to migrating your existing user workloads to Office 365. Okay, so now we will proceed to talk about core identity scenarios with Office 365. So first we have the cloud identity. Cloud identity is the simplest way of providing user authentication in Office 365. Users are managed and stored in the cloud when they are created. In this case, users will be managed via the Office 365 admin portal without no integration to on-prem Active Directory, but provisioned in Windows Azure Active Directory. The next is the directory and password synchronization. We use directory sync when you have existing on-prem Active Directory and when you want those same users to have access to Office 365 to access services such as emails, etc. using their Active Directory usernames and passwords. So this is also called the same sign-on. We do this by installing a tool called Directory Synchronization Tool. This tool will sync the AD users to Windows Azure Active Directory and will authenticate the users based on the credentials synced and stored in the Windows Azure Active Directory from the local Active Directory. In this scenario, you manage your users via the on-prem Active Directory when it comes to changing passwords or user details, etc. You do not manage them directly from the Office 365 admin center. So the next scenario is the federated identity. With federated identity, also known as single sign-on, you authenticate your users to Office 365 using your on-premise Active Directory. Now there are some benefits for using this. ADFS can be configured such that users who are already logged on to a domain joined PC do not require any password to be keyed into when they sign in at Office 365 to access their services. ADFS also lets organizations filter client access to their services based on IP ranges. We use Active Directory Federation servers to achieve this setup. In this scenario, if for any reason users are unable to authenticate against their local Active Directory, then they will not be able to log into Office 365 to access services. Therefore, this scenario needs to be deployed by taking into consideration high availability. It is also a bit costly to deploy the federated identity scenario since it requires a number of servers to be made it highly available. Therefore, many companies prefer to stick to the directory and password synchronization identity scenario when it comes to integrating the Office 365 authentication methods to on-prem Active Directory, right? Okay, so that covers pretty much it, and in the conclusion, Office 365 is a software as a service. It is made up of independent but highly federated services. Cloud computing changes the role of IT but does not supersede it. So that's the conclusion. Thank you guys for watching my video. If you guys have any questions or queries, please feel free to email me, and I hope this session was informative. Thank you.